Hello everyone, my name is David Allen Gay and you're watching the 29th episode of David Needs a Job. Well, this is the Labor Day long weekend here in Canada, and depending on where you live, Labor Day may mean something a little bit different. But here in Canada, Labor Day celebrates the protests held by some unions in Toronto to have a standardized work week, because way back in the 19th century, unionized workers were being taken advantage of by their employers to be working really insane hours and literally being worked to death. And this led to a series of protests where some people were arrested, even killed in certain cases because during the protests. And finally, Sir John A. Macdonald, who was the Prime Minister of Canada during that time, decreed that the labor laws that stood at the time were considered barbaric, and a standard 58-hour work week was put into place. Now, over time, that 58-hour work week has shrunk down to something around 44 hours by law, where if you work over that particular time period, you are now given overtime. It seems to be now, as we approach this next Labor Day, which is going to be this Monday, that we seem to be losing a lot of the gains given by the unions and the protests that occurred during the 19th century. You might want to ask yourself, for example, how often have you had a vacation lately? If that is, if you are even working at all. Are you being required to check in at the office through your BlackBerry or through your remote access to make sure that things are going as they should, rather than have someone sub for you, as it was during my time whenever I went on vacation when I was working? Here's another question I want to ask you. How much time have you spent with your kids during the summertime? This summer, as a matter of fact. Did you go on a lot of vacations with them? Or did you have to work through that time and not be able to spend some time with your kids because your boss or your company wanted you to work some extra hours, or you couldn't go on vacation? And again, not even for the summertime, how often have you been asked to cancel an appointment with your doctor or your dentist, or even a personal nature, because once again your work has seemingly crept up in priority over your personal life? Again, getting back to that concept of the work-life balance that we all seem to be struggling with. If by answering my questions you have come to the conclusion that you are indeed spending a lot more time at work and not enough time on taking vacations, being a good father or mother to your children, or taking care of yourself in terms of health, then yes, maybe the evidence is there, the proof is there, that what gains the unions have made in the 19th century have been eroded away, if not completely reversed, by companies. As a matter of fact, maybe we should start watching for additional warning signs that our rights as workers are being eroded further. I remember the protests, for example, from companies that was raised when the Ontario government brought in Family Day, which is a holiday in February. Companies felt that it would cost them money and productivity would be reduced. I remember a bit of a joke at my last company where a Japanese minister said, Westerners are so lazy, they take too many vacation days. Well, let's face it, the Japanese have always been masters at working their employees to death. As a matter of fact, there is a word in the Japanese language that describes, again in one word, suicide because of work. You have to understand that Japanese culture, work is life, life is work. And while the Western culture has not adopted that mentality, we are in fact getting pretty close to that. We've heard the mantra, we've heard the chants from businesses saying, oh, we got to do more with less. And you found, to your surprise, during the last downsizing, that you don't have as many people in your department, yet the work is still there, and you're stuck doing the work of now 2 or 3 people as opposed to just your own job description that you signed up for. And that is having an impact on unemployed people like myself who can't find a job because companies are not hiring. So, before ending this episode, I'd like to leave you with something to think about this Labor Day, if in fact you are celebrating Labor Day in your country. Before you go, fill your face with barbecue food, or go on a vacation or a trip one last time before the kiddies go back to school and you have to go back to work full time. Understand that Labor Day is not just an excuse to have time off. Labor Day was there to protect your rights as a worker, and also did some sort of protection for people like myself who could not find a job. These people who worked in the unions in the 19th century protested because they did not want to be taken advantage of by employers and being forced to work insane hours with minimal staff. Consider the situation that we're in right now, that this is a trend that appears to be rolling back what gains those people have made. You may find, to your shock, that one day you will not have a Labor Day or even a Christmas Day to take off work, because companies have gotten the ear of government and asked them to change the laws to favor their own bottom line and not your personal well-being. That's my say for today. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I wish you a very happy and very restful Labor Day long weekend if you are celebrating it. If you are not, then please do take care of yourself. You are, after all, number one that you gotta look out for. Thank you very much. Have yourself a good day. Bye for now.